A brand new content update is coming to Chivalry 2 today. The much anticipated and delayed 2.9 Reclamation update gives us a brand new map, new ranged weapon, a new campaign pass, and so much more. There has also been an official update on cross progression between Steam and Epic Games. Today, we're going to review all the major changes and additions coming in this update so you can be ready for when it goes live. As always, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link to these patch notes in the description below. There will be two separate links. We have the official patch notes and then the new statement that they just released today with regards to cross progression. The goal of these notes, once again, is to go over all the major features and let you know my thoughts on some of the changes that are coming to the game. So to start off, we finally have an official update on the state of cross progression for Chivalry 2 between Steam and Epic Games. It is definitely not the answer we were all hoping for, but they have officially stated in their post from today that the cross progression between Epic Games and Steam will not be implemented into Chivalry 2. They have canceled this feature and it is not coming to the game. Again, definitely not what we were hoping for, but they have basically stated that they underestimated the development cost of this feature and that it would have eaten up a lot of development time that they would rather have elsewhere to serve a wider variety of players. I'm happy we finally got a statement. I'm happy with the transparency that they've given us. I want them to continue to do this moving forward. Keep the community in the loop and let us know what is going on, because this has been a feature that has been requested for a long time, and it just went far too long without an official statement. We finally got it. Definitely not the news we were looking for. They have said that to kind of ease tensions, they will be giving all players 250 crowns, so the premium currency that they can spend on whatever they want. And they're also making it so that the Royal Zweihander, which was previously a pre-order skin only, as well as the Steam loyalty helmets, which were given out to the Steam players who bought the game on Steam and also had a copy of Chivalry Medieval Warfare in their games account, you'll be able to purchase those skins with gold. So this kind of helps in the sense that you're not locked onto which platform you're playing. When it comes to the cosmetics, you can rebuy them. I know it kind of sucks, but you can rebuy them on your platform of choice. You're not locked. So like now that I bought the game on Epic Games first and I got the pre-order bonus of the Royal Zweihander skin, well, now if I really wanted to, I can move over to Steam, reacquire it with the 2,000 gold and keep playing over there. Again, definitely not the answer we were all hoping for, but I hope that moving forward they continue a transparent development process and include and update the community on a regular basis on features for the game. Moving on to a more welcome addition to the game, a new map. Everyone loves new maps. This map, titled the Reclamation of Mount Crux, sees the Agathians on the offensive against Tenosia, and they've been fueled by memories of old war and they want to reclaim their land, so they're on the offensive, pushing into Tenosian lands way into the south of the continent. This is great. I love new maps, are always great, and Torn Banner always has a good track record with maps. I'm very excited to play this. It looks like very deserty map. You're storming this fortress. There's going to be it says here that it's an uphill battle for the Agathians, and they have to break through the fortress's walls with petards and avoid a rain of ballista fire from the Tenosians as the bombards continue to fire against the Agathian siege towers and camp. Should they break through, Agathians must then lift the keep's gates and disable the bombards launching above, reclaiming the fortress as theirs once again. Again, very excited for this map. Torn Banner does a phenomenal job developing maps. I don't think that they've ever... I don't think there's a map that I despise in this game. It's always a fun time, so I'm looking forward to seeing what this map has to offer. Coming up next, we have the addition of a brand new ranged weapon to the game. I know this might not excite some people, and I'm definitely not as excited as I have been for other weapons in the past, but it is something new to use and to toy with, so I know a lot of people don't like archers, but this is what we got so far for this update. So the siege crossbow is advertised as a big brute of a weapon. This thing is going to have deadly power, and it's going to have bolts that can actually fire through and deal damage to non-objective siege weapons and constructibles. So if there's a pesky enemy archer hiding behind a one of their built barricades or maybe a Pavis shield, and you fire a bolt at it, it's going to have the power to tear through that and hit him from behind it. So that's actually a pretty cool feature. It's reminding me of almost like this. It's a take on the heavy crossbow from Chivalry 1. Out of all the crossbows, I like using that one the most because it always did the most damage. So it sounds like this thing's going to do a lot of damage. It's going to be essentially a portable ballista, if you will. But it doesn't sound like you're going to have a lot of ammo to use. It does say here it's a bulky weapon and you're limited to the amount of shots you can fire. Make them count. And also, I don't think, so if someone just places a buildable, I think how they've designed it, or what I'm assuming is that you won't be able to just fire straight through it. Essentially, if it's about to break and you do enough damage that it will break, then the projectile will keep going. I don't think you're just going to be able to keep firing through walls and stuff. But that is pretty cool. I'm not the most excited about this weapon, but we'll see what it does. It's another new toy in our arsenal. The next major piece of content that they are adding to this patch is the addition of a new campaign pass. Now, unlike before where they've been a little more open on what is coming in the campaign pass and they've teased a little more, this campaign pass, they've been a little bit more tight-lipped. Campaign passes of old, they've been pretty good, so I'm sure this one will be good as well. They have teased one thing though, and it's this magnificent looking set of Agathian armor. Like, look at this thing. This thing is gorgeous. I am very excited to equip this once the update goes live, and I'm sure it's going to be part of the campaign pass, so we can look forward to more wonderful looking skins in that. But yeah, it's going to be the same that they've always done it. I don't think that there will be a time limit on when you can purchase this pass, which is good. I'm a big fan of that. I'm okay with battle passes, campaign passes, whatever you want to call them, as long as they don't expire. Right? As long as I can buy it and work on it at my own time, which they have done with the last two passes, so I'm sure this one will follow in their footsteps. But yeah, we got this is a fantastic looking skin. Good job, Tornbanner. This is nice. I am a big fan of this. All right, on to the combat changes. These are what I'm most excited for, and I'm sure a lot of other longtime players are most excited for. And there's actually there's a couple good ones in here that we're going to go over. So to start off, right at the top of the list, we have active parry. There's a change to active parry. So a player is no longer disarmed when in active parry state. This is a very good change. I've noticed sometimes, occasionally, you'll be in an active parry and your guy will run out of stamina, and you'll be disarmed. So they're gonna stop that. You're no longer disarmed when you're in an active parry state. So after I counter off someone and someone hits me with their weapon, if I'm at 0 stamina and they hit me, I'm not gonna be disarmed anymore. So that's a good change. I have noticed that in my Twitch chat that people have been complaining about this, so good change here. Right below that, we have a change to aim assist. Woohoo! Down with archers! Woohoo! They have removed the magnetism affecting projectile initial rotation. So they say here that after further review of feedback shared regarding this feature, it was noted that the aim assist for archery was stronger than intended. Really? In addition to assisting look aim, a projectile's starting rotation was found to be influenced. This part of the feature has been removed in the update. Really good change. I found that I saw some crazy videos out there of archers and the aim assist being so strong. And so essentially what was happening, the aim assist is helping you aim, but it was also helping your projectile to kind of rotate toward the opponent. So now that projectile curving toward the enemy is no longer going to be a thing. There's still going to be an aim assist. It's going to help you point, if you're on controller, toward what you want to shoot at, but the projectile itself won't be affected by that. So very, very good addition. Hopefully those pesky archers will be a little less pesky, and we can all enjoy ourselves a little more in game. Moving on down the list, we have a change to the jab that they are reverting from the previous patch, or not reverting, but changing slightly. So they say here that they have adjusted jabbing after dodge to come out slower instead of being on a cooldown. In the last game update 2.8, they made it so that after you dodge and you went to go jab, you were locked out of it for a couple seconds. Like, it was on jab was on cooldown, you couldn't do it. And I actually noticed this in my gameplay because a lot of the times part of my gameplay was dodge away and jab the next opponent that was getting close to me, and it really helped with 1vx situations. By taking away and adding that, they added that cooldown to it. It made 1vx's a lot harder to manage, that you couldn't jab right away and stop an incoming opponent from throwing a swing at you. Now, I know that they had made that change because apparently some people were abusing it in some way, but now it sounds like instead of a cooldown, the jab that comes out is just going to be slower than a regular jab, which I'm okay with. We'll see how this plays. I'm sure it's going to help in the 1vx situations, though, and I think this is a good change. Moving a little further down the list, we have a change to stabs that is a phenomenal change, and I'm happy that they're implementing this into the game. So stabs for all weapons now thwack when hitting teammates. So stabs had a very unique property in the sense that when you hit a teammate, it would go right through them. Doesn't matter what weapon, doesn't matter if it was a blunt weapon, if it was a piercing weapon, you could stab right through your teammate and hit an enemy. They have said here that upon further ongoing review of the current combat, it was noted that players would use stabs while behind a teammate to mask their attack, resulting in a disadvantage for the defender when reading and defending against such attacks. A lot of people would do this, especially the spear users. They would hide behind teammates and just keep stabbing and stabbing through teammates and there was nothing that the defender could really do to stop this. So what they've done for this update is that you can no longer, light attacks only will stop on hit when they hit a teammate. They've left the stabbing through on the heavy stab, but they say they're going to look at it, monitor it for future and see if they need to change it. But this is a great change. It was like inconsistent with the combat. Regular swings and overheads would never go through a teammate, but stabs would for some reason, and people would abuse that all the time. So hopefully this helps with fighting spear players in a 1vx and makes them less annoying. They're going to have to try a little bit harder to get their stabs in. And I think this is a very, very good change. Up next, we have a slight workaround and a change to the subclasses for Footman and Knight. I have been calling for this change since the game launched. I'm so happy they've done pretty much exactly what I said to do. They have now made it so that a Footman can choose between the light or medium shield, and a Knight can now choose between medium and light shield. So Knight Guardian class can now choose any of the 3 shields, and the Footman class can choose between the medium and the light shield. This is a great change. I don't know why they didn't implement it from the beginning. It just adds a little more customization. I've gone over in previous videos that shields actually affect jab damage. The light shield gives a 20 damage more jab, and they also have different healths and values. So it provides a little more customization when making your class and thinking of your character. So I know for sure now I'm going to definitely dabble on both of these classes with using the light shield because I like having a nice strong jab, and a 20 damage jab is going to be really effective in these situations where I could only use it on Archer before, and Archer's not really meant for combat. So really good change. Happy they done this. Fantastic work. Right below that, we have a slight change to the parry box. They have decreased it by half of the width of the previous increase. So they increased it last update. They've dialed it back by half of that increase. So there are slightly decreased parry boxes. Good change. I don't think the parry boxes had to be adjusted. So I like to see this. It's going to provide, you're going to have to aim your blocks a little bit better now. Stab drag should work more for getting around blocks. So good change. They're trying to just find that sweet spot for that, the size of the parry box. So I like to see, I don't want it to get too big. So I'm glad to see they're shrinking a little bit. All right, guys, so that pretty much covers everything I wanted to talk about with regards to this update. We're getting a new map, new weapon, new campaign pass and skins, a few combat changes. Not a whole lot of them, but whatever I saw there, I actually really liked what I saw. It's unfortunate that we're not getting cross progression between Steam and Epic. I know this was a feature a lot of us were hoping for, but the devs have now officially confirmed that it is not coming to the game. They'd rather focus development elsewhere. Not the outcome we wanted, but I'm happy that they finally given us an update. I hope moving forward, there's a lot more of these updates when it comes to talked about upcoming features and promises. Hopefully we get a lot more transparency when it comes to the development process in the future. But overall, I think this will be a fun update. It's been a while since we've had any additional content in Chivalry 2, so a new weapon, a new map is always welcome. Hopefully in the next update, we got a melee weapon, but you know, maybe flail, Flail, please, Stormbanner, please. As always, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on the update in the comments below. I'd love to take part in a discussion, and you can always catch me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/StripedSweater live for live Chivalry 2 gameplay, tips, tricks, whatever you need. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.